So when you're trying to turn an optic into a rock crawler, to at least keep up with, you know, comp crawlers, apparently you need weight up front. And a fusion, but weight up front. I'm learning that. Stay tuned. Hey everybody. Feels like it's been a while since I've done a video. Just been doing a lot of shorts. Getting on that short game, you know. As you saw, I was at a car show, so that's why I posted a lot of, it was like 14 or 15, 16 shorts, something like that. It's content. That's all that really matters, right? But stuff has been happening with RC stuff, so don't worry about that. One, Matt Murdock is gone. Probably never to come back. I went to a new place with a good buddy of mine. I met a bunch of other really cool people, and if you guys are watching, thanks for the really good experience. And I'm now hooked on building a comp type of vehicle. I got to go out with some really good folks, and went to a really awesome place that I personally haven't been to in a long time. And yeah, it was super fun, and a lot of like super technical lines. And this is what I brought. Now, I've tried to build this very wee rockish. By the way, that's where Matt Murdock most likely is. Fell out somewhere there. So, then my buddy was like, we didn't see it there. And I'm like, someone probably stole it. It is what it is. It could be here somewhere, but I very highly doubt that. There was a piece of long grass where he would have been. He even actually could be somewhere where I crawl. I haven't gone out since I went out with those with the new group in my case, but I do go out with by myself and with Manny, my buddy, before up to my area, and so he could have fallen out somewhere there, to be honest. Maybe I should go look. But regardless of that, I've got one of the RC 4-wheel drive guys, and he's got a hat and flannel. I like flannels and I wear hats, so. But anyway, aside from all of that, so I bring this to a very technical type of place. Oh, I guess you guys haven't seen before. So, the Yokohama tires are gone. The ones that come on it. I did stretch the 2.2 wheels over those. I think you guys have seen the 2.2 wheels. I got rid of those. They are not good once you stretch 2.2 rims into them. At least with the Vanquish dual stage. They go from having some nice squish to no squish. And need squish. Because squish. Anyway. So I'm like, well, I need to get proper 2.2 wheels. But I didn't want to go too big. I wanted to try and keep it, you know, good looking without these massive freaking tires on it. So I went with the Vanquish products, Yokohama Geolander XMT, I believe that's what they are, XMTs. And these things do work. They've definitely got some good bite to them. Been wearing them in real nice. So then I go with these guys. Keep in mind, this truck has no weight up front. It did have brass. Apparently, you do not put Loctite on screws into brass. That is the issue I ran into. I think, well, Loctite means metal to metal. Don't. At least in my case, the screws were welded in there. They were not coming out. And I don't use red Loctite, so... Or I use the blue stuff. The one that, yeah. But they weren't coming out. So, I was kind of like, screw brass. So a couple things happened. In these wheels, because I couldn't get anything quickly at the time, I went with the blue Injora inserts. Those like silicone inserts. I know a lot of people use them, and so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna get them. And they definitely work well. I got nothing bad to say about them. I don't run vented tires, so the truck had this like bounce. Every time you try and go up a rock, it's just bouncing because there's air stuck in the tire. And as I'm like going around, my buddy man is like, "You gotta vent those tires. Gotta vent those tires." I'm like, "I'll get on it." And then as we're crawling and I'm working into these more extreme lines, we're just noticing the truck gets up, and as soon as it gets to like this point, basically, it wants to flip back. And he's like, "Dude, you need brass." I'm like, I know he's gonna be watching this video, and he's right. It needs brass. So I did. I got the same Mias brass, same ones that I had issues with before. I think I still have one of the broken ones in there somewhere. See if I can find it. Alright, I got no idea we're there. If you saw that, sorry. If I was nice, I cut all that out. But I guess I can just do this. So anyway, one thing I noticed with the Optic is it's got a strange weight bias. That said, I think I only crawled with the plastic cage 2 or 3 times, and then immediately got a hold of this cage, which was Scale Builders Guilds. So that was pretty cool. But Zevia. But like I've been saying, this truck got to the point where it was just, it had a weird weight bias on it. And the cage isn't even that heavy, it's titanium. But these inserts have quite an amount of weight to them. So it immediately changed the way the truck drove. And I do have them vented now. I did do that. I lost my venting tool, so kind of just put a bunch of holes in the tire. Not at, well, anyway. But there is the Mias brass there. You can see how they're all set up. It's got the double action in the rear. But definitely changes the action of the truck now. Just giving some tests that I have inside the house here, just to see, okay, where's the weight? Because I knew where the tipping point was before, whether it was on the side or wherever. Where is it now? And it definitely helps. Would I put more weight up front? It's really tough to say. It's almost like I forgot to make a video. How to make a video, I should say. Just chilling tonight, guys. Just chilling. But it definitely, just anywhere I am, the front wants to come down, which I'm really happy with. So it's going to help with front grab. It's going to help with the rear. I could overdrive the front more. It has the stock 6% overdrive from the transmission. That's definitely going to help. But ultimately, this is still a trail truck that I want to just be a performer. It's definitely, I want it to be able to keep up better. And it didn't do bad. Like, it did better than I expected. I think Manny would agree. But it definitely, it was lacking in some areas. Just like the tire bounce, because it couldn't squish down. And now you can see it's actually like squishing down very well to the point where it'll stay. And I need to put better holes. I'll be honest. But ultimately, that grip in the front, I think, is really going to help, because that's where it was really lacking, or the grip, but really the weight. There just wasn't enough weight up front for whatever reason. And there's not like a lot in the back. Like there's a 3D printed engine, which I broke the headers are they broke off. So I did buy the file. I just got to print another one. But like I said, it has a weird weight bias on this thing. But ultimately, I'm super happy with this truck. I've made this truck my own, kind of like the Ford Ice. Even Just Married there. Like the 3 trucks that I've got. There's a certain fast one that's no longer here. I'll get to that. Like when I got this truck, and I think you can see the original cage is still up there. So I'm going to use it for something. the, just turning this into what I did, I'm really happy with it. It's super fun to drive. The way it handles, the way it goes around things, it's a really fun truck. So if you're thinking of getting a buggy, you want something fun that's going to be fun on the trail and everything else, hands down, the Optic, in my opinion, is the best. Right out of the box. The electronics aren't the best. Mainly just the ESC. If you don't have the money to drop a Fusion in it or anything like that, the servo's fine. It'll get you around. I would recommend putting a 1080. So you just get a HobbyWing 1080. The ones that come in it are a 1060, and they just don't really have it. Put a 1080 in it, and the 35 turn motor that comes in the truck, you're just fine. This just has a HobbyWing Fusion SE, so the 1800 SEs, and it's perfectly fine. Like this thing boogies pretty well. And obviously with the servo, we have the NSDRC right there. Pink RS 800 V2, and this servo is taking a licking. Sorry, something felt loose. Kind of got its first shakedown up at Peacock where we went. So that was kind of like its first real test, putting it to its paces type thing. But anyway, the RS800 V2 is, I love it. It is an amazing servo. It has loads of power, and I only run it on 3S direct power, which is still like 900 and something ounces of torque. There was a section at Peacock where it's kind of like you crawl like this, and then you're constantly getting twisted up. And this thing was just like, I was throttling through it, and the servo had no problem steering through all of that. It takes any beating you've got thrown at it. So, if you're looking to spend money on a servo, I would definitely recommend the NSDRC RS800 V2. Just like I said, absolute tank. It is capable of 4S. That has 1,000 ounces of torque in it, and hardened steel gears, of course, and it is IP67 rated. So if you're kind of like, I like going in the rain, I like going in the mud, I like going in the snow, I like all these things, this servo's got all that covered. Don't go dunking in the ocean, clearly, that's not ever a good idea, but if you submerged it in a lake, something might get a little buggered up, but your battery would probably go too, so, that said, even the RS500B, which is the budget servo, the most affordable one they've got, really, I put that thing through snow, mud, dunking it in, through water crossings, and it just keeps on going. And I've been running those for 2.5 years. So, my opinion, best servos you can get. But that's what I'd put in here for a servo, as I've done, Fusion, and that combo alone will get you. That's what I did with the truck stock. And I put I had the Riots, KMC Riots on here. It is a great buggy to get. Trail buggy, as they call it. This is the original hood here. Obviously I have big stickers all over this one too. I cannot figure out where the grill is, but I am running Jersey Scalar's first hood iteration. This is the first one he did for the Optic, and I sorta kind of helped him with this one, I guess you could say. I don't really know. really didn't. I don't think. Maybe I did. I don't know. We'll leave him to say that. But I've been beating on this hood, and it's still taking. Like, it's got tons of cracks on it, or scrapes and scratches and whatnot. Still staying on the truck. I can hear a seagull out there. I'm sorry if you guys hear a lot of fans on the 4th-floor apartment. It's hot. And in order to wear a shirt right now, I have a Dyson pointed right at me, drying out my eyeballs. But it's keeping me cool. And I have an air conditioner over there. So, and a seagull apparently on the deck beside us. Because it's fat, it can't go find its own food. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. So, obviously shocks. Stock Vanquish shocks. Look, if there's something Vanquish could definitely make better, it's their shocks. I have 3 sets. 2 of which are built. 1 of which isn't. Possibly 4 sets. 2 that aren't, 2 that are built. Or maybe 1. I do have 4 sets. 2 unbuilt, 1 built, or the vice versa to that, and I have 1 built set that's in the Fordice. So, and that thing always has a lean to it, but it seems to work better with the lean. So, but for shocks, obviously, we went with the Proline Pro Spec Scalar 95mm shocks. I have them as drooped out as they'll go. The one thing with the FearTech cage is the shock positioning's a little too far up. So I do need to invest in some slightly better rod ends. I have RC lines, whatever the hell it was, that came with the angled steel link, the stainless steel links that I was using. They come with these giant rod ends. So I have those up front here. I just need to get the Traxxas Revo rod ends, and those will bring it out more than enough. But it's better than it was. The shocks were literally angled this way quite a bit. So now they're just a little bit, you know, they just have that just enough to say they're angled back. But all in all, the truck works fantastic. I could not be more happy. That's kind of what I've been doing. So, just working on this thing. I did get the Losi Baja Ray together, and I did sell those giant ass swampers that were on it, and those I was able to sell those for the price of basically getting all the bits and pieces I needed for it. So that was fine. Perfectly, you know, ultimately I didn't put a lot of money into that truck. But it literally just left. Because meeting people who actually drive flat rail trucks, comp trucks, has pretty much made me completely hooked on wanting to own one and build one and drive one and actually learn to do it properly. As you know, I've built, there was the knuckle duster that just didn't work out for whatever reason. Then I did I did a Merge X, which was such a good truck. You know, that was actually a great truck, and I miss that truck. Then I did the 10 Pro, which we do know about, but I did not get rid of the body because one day I was going to use it again, and my buddy Myron, he painted this for me. Blind guy on the side, there's BC Hobbies there, because they worked with me to build that. So that was really cool. And so I definitely wanted to keep this. That sticker wants to come off. There we go. Go back on there. Stay on there. I don't think it's going to stay on. But this is, I believe, I can't remember who this is from. TGH? I cannot remember who does this one. This body. But anyway, I got it from my buddy Mr. Wizard there. He got me this body. And then obviously my buddy Myron painted it, and it was on the 10 Pro for the longest time. I guess we do need to take that off. That can't be on there anymore. It did have a one of those coral reef servos in it at the time, because that's what the hobby shop had, so that's what I put in it. And yeah, nothing against it, but I have who I'm with. Not just because I'm a team driver, because I just fell in love with the servos well before. There. I'll have to gooby gone that. And we'll get that all off. There we go. I should probably could have left that. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah. But this will be getting used because the Baja Race sold so that I could build a VRD. Because I'm a Vanquish boy, that's how it is. But being that my birthday is in a week, I have some opportunity. Thanks, Mom. To get a chassis. So part of me did want to go for the carbon. You know, it's got all the best and the best and the best of the blah 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 blah. Problem is, I don't love portals. Straight axles all behind me. Thankfully, they came out with the VRD Builders Kit. Same chassis, it just has straight axles. So, much simpler, lower center of gravity, axles I know how to run, I know how they work, I know how to work with, you know, anyway. It's got the F10s. So that's getting ordered. And then, I always look at the screen, I should be looking at that. So we're getting that. And from there, putting brass knuckles on it. This is what the Baja Brave was sold for. So brass knuckles. Couldn't tell you the brand of them. They're brass. They're knuckles. They'll work. You know, haters are gonna hate, I guess. But look, this truck is meant to do one thing, and one thing only. Crawl. Up. Whatever the hell I pointed at. So that's all I'm caring about. I'm not going crazy on, oh, I gotta vanquish this, blah, blah, blah. I'm building it to have a purpose, to do one thing, and to crawl. I want it to crawl on everything that I pointed to. That's what it's only meant to do. Not to look good going up a trail, none of that. This is strictly purpose-built truck. I'm going to be putting the Endura pins on it for the time being. One of the guys had them up where we went, and that thing was crawling up everything. So, I'm going to throw those on there. That body will be on there. They'll just be, I think they're just Endura wheels, but they're really cool, deep dish. You know, I like them. They're not a direct copy of anything Vanquish. So, that's kind of why I'm not buying copies of things. As best I can. And then it will have Mias overdriven front and regular rear diff gears, ring and pinion. It'll have the NSDRC RS 700 V2 servo in it, low pro servo, so perfect. And for the time being, it will have a castle setup, which, you know, not the best thing to put in it, but it's probably what we'll put in it first off. Then I'll get a fusion in there. Or, you know, put a revolver in it or something. I don't know. Probably putting a fusion in it. But, so like I said in the beginning, there's been a lot of planning going on. A lot of tuning this thing, meeting some new people, which has been really great. And I'm still, you know, really grateful for my buddy Manny for taking me out and getting to meet all these people. I know one of them wasn't there, sort of, and I knew one of the ones that showed up because he works at the hobby shop, Chris. So it was, you know, great seeing him again, because I don't get to the hobby shop very often. It's on the other side of town, so we just generally don't get over there. Being blind, I gotta take buses and stuff. So it was really nice seeing him, see what he's been building. But meeting all these other guys was just really cool. Finally getting out of my bubble, and you know, I've always wanted to do comp crawler stuff, but I always struggled getting out of that bubble. And now that I finally did, I'm like gung-ho. It's all I'm thinking about. I want to build, I want to go, and then so it's kind of lit that fire, which I haven't had in a while. It's always just been build, film, build, film. Now I'm like, I didn't even film anything when I took this out. Not because I was too afraid to or anything. I kind of, that passion, that fire was just like turned into a bonfire. And so it's been really nice. And that's why I gave you guys a whole pile of hot rod footage. But anyways, I'm not going to bore you with anything. Just a little, you know, here's what's kind of been going on. And yeah, as I say, when videos start going, but you know, that's the end. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Really means a lot. The subscriber count's really gone up. Finally got over 1,300 now. Possibly to do with the hot rod stuff. So those might go away once they start seeing RC stuff again. It is what it is. But again with the button. Like I said, means a lot. Thank you so much for sticking around and just all the really nice comments and everything. And as always, check out NSDRC. The link is in the description. They've got all your servos, anything you need, for whatever. They just came out with this massive servo. It's for like industrial stuff. It's huge. It's like 3 pounds or something, or over 3 pounds. I can't remember how like heavy the actual servo is, but it's big. But from I think nanos to micros to low pros to regular size like this. You know, they've got you covered. 5th scale, 6th scale stuff, they got you. So definitely go pick yourself up a servo. On their website they have their dealers, where they are, where you can get them, or just order from them. In my case, where I'm in Canada, I use Mr. Wizard RC, so he's in the description as well, along with my local hobby shop, BC Hobbies, and all the other ones I use. I tend to just use Canadian ones. I have 3 big ones that I like. So it's BC Hobbies, Nanaimo RC, and Eliminator. If one doesn't have a part, can't get a part, and I need a part, go to the other, right? But support good shops, support good people. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.